He was a pastor in Illinois, Vermont, and New York before being called as a successor to Henry Sloane Coffin at Madison Avenue Presbyterian Church in New York City in 1927. After a long and noted career there, he was a professor at Harvard for 5 years, and in retirement, a guest professor at several schools, including Louisville Presbyterian Theological Seminary. Tuesday, March 24th. On this day in 1862, Louisa Maria Lehman Worsley was born. She was ordained as an evangelist in 1889 by Nolan Presbytery of the Cumberland Presbyterian Church and preached revivals around the country. She served as moderator of the Kentucky Synod in 1838. She was the first woman ordained as a minister of the Word and Sacrament in an American Presbyterian church. While the Kentucky Synod was asked to rule that her ordination was invalid, they neither invalidated nor formally upheld it, so her status is frequently considered as a local ordination. Wednesday, March 25th. In 1555, John Knox delivered his last sermon in Frankfurt, Germany, to his English exile congregation. He returned to Geneva the next day. The expectations of the congregation had shifted due to the influx of Anglican exiles, and his Reformed style of worship was falling out of favor, and Knox with it. Thursday, March 26th. Isaac Anderson was born on this day in 1780. He was a pastor in eastern Tennessee, and for most of his life he served New Providence Presbyterian Church in Maryville. In 1819, he led a group that persuaded the Synod of Tennessee to establish the Southern and Western Theological Seminary. He served as the only teacher at the seminary for 6 years, and served as president of the school from its founding until his death in 1857. In 1842, the school changed its name to Maryville College, and is still a Presbyterian-affiliated school today. Friday, March 27th. On this day in 1842, George Matheson was born. He was born and educated in Glasgow, Scotland, and at the age of 20, he was struck by blindness. Still, he resolved to continue his training for the ministry and became a popular preacher and noted theologian. He was also a hymn writer and published one book of sacred songs, from which the hymn, O Love That Wilt Not Let Me Go, is still in popular usage. Saturday, March 28th. Augustus Norton was born on this day in 1808. He was ordained in New York, but served his first call there very briefly, before moving to the frontier of the West, eventually settling in Alton, Illinois. He was a pastor and church planter in Illinois and Missouri, and has been referred to as the father of Presbyterianism in Illinois. He concluded his career as the district secretary of church extension and home missions in that area. He was also the founder and editor of the monthly newspaper for Illinois Presbyterians, the Presbyterian Reporter. Thanks for joining me here on the EAR podcast. Stay safe in these times, and I look forward to joining you again next week.
You have reached the end of yet another episode from The Ear. We hope that God's Word remains on the ears of the listeners. We pray that this podcast would urge you to go forth and spread His good news to the world. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. See you at the next episode. God bless you, and may His glory shine upon you.